In January, we first heard that there was something emerging and it was possibly going to be a global pandemic.
We were just walking to our car and Mum told me, I might keep you home from school just because of this virus. I thought yay and nay at the same time.
I was contacted by our partner school in Wuhan, who said that they'd be unable to come to Australia because of the virus.
I was worried when I heard, because I didn't realise how serious it was before then.
I remember hearing it in a Year 12 meeting, we were being told that we would be going into lockdown.
My mum came up to me the day that it was announced saying that we wouldn't be going back to school.
I was worried for our students. I was worried for our families that they didn't know what this would mean for them and how this would impact them.
I thought about my nan and pop, because my nan, she has really bad breathing problems.
I was concerned that how long this is going to go on for, the uncertainty around it. Were my children going to be able to move forward with their learning as opposed to stagnating?
I was concerned about how I was really going to cope with it, knowing that I won't be able to have face-to-face contact, face-to-face conversations with anyone properly, how other people were coping with it as well.
I think the biggest concern was probably the fact that we are doing the HSC and how we were going to complete that.
Are we going to reach that finish line? Are we going to make it through?
Some other concerns I had wasn't just at school, it was also my sport, which was hard because it's good to have that balance of sport and school.
So our plan was to actually move to remote learning, or what we referred to as digital learning in the context of a pandemic. As a school that delivers 24/7 online learning, we had a robust technology, so we were prepared for anything. We have been offering various forms of online learning for a period of time now. So for us, the shift to remote digital learning wasn't a big challenge.
I saw the teachers here, how quickly they changed around their subjects to deliver an online learning platform.
A few of us were already familiar with Zoom because we had been using it with a student who had been injured.
The teachers were calm and they were precise and they knew what was happening. That automatically created a sense of understanding and control for the students that things were okay, their learning was going to go ahead, it was going to progress, the world didn't stop for them.
The teachers really helped us a lot with coping strategies through this whole pandemic, asking how we were coping with all of this.
They'd try to make it fun. You'd wake up and say, oh no, I've got heaps of work, but then you say, oh no, I get to bring my pet to Zoom, which make you more excited.
The lessons that were put up for students so that they could work through that content was involved with the students doing.
I did think it was a bit difficult for the teachers to find ways that would work for all the kids learning through Zoom.
I kind of liked school, so I didn't really want to go home and hop on the computer every morning and just do studies, and I knew that the internet at my place was not the best.
You're not with your classmates at that time, so you can't, rely on them.
Some kids might have reading problems, or it's just easier to just talk with your teachers and actually sit down and read through a question.
But over time it got easier. We made solutions.
The school provided laptops for kids that needed them, so they had the ability to learn from home.
For subjects such as math, our teacher found platforms that they were able to still write and show us things as if they were writing on a whiteboard.
We started to do the Zoom meetings, and they were working really good, I found. It became easier to interact with the teachers and actually ask questions.
I think that the teachers have really done a great job. With each new piece of news we've changed.
We were very precise and deliberate with our communication. It was regular and consistent so that we were all speaking from the same pages of the book so that there wasn't a mismatch of information.
As a parent of children who don't attend Xavier, I had wished that my schools had responded in the same way that Xavier College had.
For parents, it was about giving them the adequate support that they could teach and work with their kids. For students, it was about a level of engagement to make sure that we could continue the learning. And for teachers, it was about building their capacity that they could still complete their craft in a way that was very challenging and very different for them.
Something I value now that I took for granted before was the ability to be able to go out and see all my friends and everything without worrying how it would affect other people in our community.
I think as a community, we're now reading each other better and staying home when we have an obligation to keep others well. And I think the other thing is making sure that the good things that have come from Xavier Virtual Learning are continuing.
Whilst remote learning is probably not the best option for 100% of the time, there's a lot of stuff that we could potentially move to remote learning. I think that's kind of going to shape how we teach from here on.
Now that we're back at school, I find the teachers are explaining everything even clearer than they used to.
There are many things that we can do now clearly and more precisely, and we don't have to pad things out. So we're more direct in our learning and our communication.
Stage 4, 5 and 6 have different lunch times.
They've got more access to the oval and the pavilion at their lunches, so more places to run around and burn off some energy.
It's actually good because I've actually made new friends in Year 7. So, yeah.
Throughout this whole global pandemic, we haven't been defined by what we can't do, we've been defined by what we can do.
I was able to do a lot of things I didn't think I was able to do. Like, I didn't think I could self-assess. I didn't think that I would be able to learn through a screen, but I did.
You had to truly have an honest self-reflection about what your learning styles were.
I've become less distracted.
I had to be more responsible for my learning, and I had to change the way I was doing my work, and I still do that now even though we're not in isolation.
We'll use the skills that we've learnt this year because life has challenges.
I don't need to rely on everyone else to help me with my work and everything. Like, I can become an independent person more and like have more confidence in myself with my answers and everything.
I'm going to have to adapt in my life to different circumstances, and COVID was just one of them.
As a leader of the community, I'm incredibly proud of the cooperation that existed between parents, students and teachers. The fact that people listened to our leadership, supported our leadership and valued our leadership. We're in a good place. We're in a good place in terms of our mental health of our school, of our staff and of our parents.
If something were to happen again, we'd be even more prepared the second time round.
Our students have now had an understanding of what that looks like when something out of our control confronts us and how they respond, and I think they've shown that they can get through things. The world is okay, and together we'll work for a greater tomorrow.